they had just came out with a new program from ISNA. And ISNA said that, I'll back up a little bit. While I was there, I gave a talk at the Masjid, and I'd given a talk at the university there too. In Ames, Iowa, I gave a talk there. I used to go there all the time. But anyway, I said, when they was talking about dawah and all of that stuff, I said, yeah, you could go to prisons, you could go to this place, you could do. And they said, what about the good people? That might have been a code word for white people or something like that. Where are they at? In other words, when I got down to Dixie, I told the Imam what I had heard. He said, no, that's policy. That's in 83. He said, that's policy. Not stay away from black people, but black people are too much trouble. If it's a woman, she got a house full of kids that need help, right? Which is basically true. I mean, they're gonna bring a lot of trouble around. Now that trouble that they bring is not their trouble, that's government trouble. If they're out out there in Maryland at Big Center, and if they got a van, an old raggedy van in their parking lot, this is the big street out there, then they come in the parking lot, whatever they call it out there. Y'all can imagine. Well, they got a Negro van there. And that starts trouble with the people. There's one team said, oh, that's a good brother. The other team has said it's an eyesore. He's got to get it out of here. Whatever it is, he's causing the trouble. And it may be a surprise to him, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Because whoever sent him there has sent him to do a specific job. Okay, when we came around everywhere, we knew all of that. We had that down, and we had traveled around the country, I don't know how many times. And when we came to do a speech at a university, we always went to the Masjid. When I was in the Masjid, one city down south, right on the Mississippi River, I'll think of it in a minute. When you go across on Highway 40, it's Memphis, Tennessee. That's where it is. Because they got the big Memphis thing there. And there's the river, the Mississippi River. So, I'm going to give a talk. Oh, I'd already gave. Right. I was going to give a talk at the university. I was staying with the Iranian brothers. But I always would go to the Masjid. So I'm in the Masjid reading and what have you. So a group of guys come in and they got a flyer. Oh, Imam Abdul Alim Musa is going to be here. Ha, 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 who is he? So I just sat there while I said, oh, that's kind of like me. They didn't already gave up there. It's a big joke. Who is that? And when I talked, they was shocked. Their eyes got open. How can a nigga know anything like that? Because I'm talking about their countries, Anyway, so we got a chance to get a feel for what the whole Islamic movement, that first 10 years was wonderful. Well, it was more than 10 years, but that first 10 years, when I'm traveling all over the country, all the time, I'm learning like this trip I'm going to start going on during this period, this will be a redo. I'll be able to go. Now we got a list of masajid, where the masajid are. So I got a chance. I'll go straight to the masjid, hang out, read Quran, sit in there and read Quran, whatever they're doing. I'll get a chance to check it out. They have another masjid. I'll go there, and then I'll keep going on my trip, and I'll do this for at least up to Ramadan, and then after, we're getting right back on the road again, because that's what the rest of this year is, putting that type of thing together. And that's what we're going to do with Allah's help. If the car stops, we'll pull it over and catch the bus to the next town, buy another car, look in the papers. Well, they don't do that much anymore. Look on the internet. We want to sell a car. I'll go look at the car. I'll take it, and get back on the road. Or what the heck? Stay on the bus. Get a Greyhound, Trailways, go to the next town, get on the city bus and come by the bus station, and it'll take you to the Masjid, it'll take you, whatever you want to do. That will, to me, this is an exciting period because it's like a new beginning. It's like a new beginning. It's wonderful. That's what we're into. Right now, we have our first trip planned for this weekend. But that's what we're going to be into. Now let's kind of get into anticipation. What has happened to us before that will help us understand what we're going to deal with? Well, in those days, it was a lot of you could plan things, but without the experience, you're kind of just visualizing. But now we have a lot of facts to go on. So this is anticipation of what we're going to deal with. We're almost trying to anticipate what we're going to run across, who's going to be there at the masjid, what the dialogue is going to be, who are you, what of like the last trips during the last decade, they would be sitting there with a computer. When I got to one masjid, right off I-10, New Mexico, right on I-25, what 10 and 25 meet, you from El Paso. It's not far from El Paso. El Paso is 15 miles away, 20 miles away. And when I first started coming there, there was an Iranian brother. They had invited me to come speak there, and I would stay with him across from the masjid at that time. It was a real okay. But this time, you come there, they have a masjid built from the ground up and all da-da-da-da-da-da. And so when I get there, I'm kind of hanging out there a little bit, and a guy comes in and he gets my information, and I could tell he's going back on the computer and looking up da-da-da-da-da. In a hot minute, one of the Negroes come in from the university. Imam Musa, da-da-da-da. He's from not Cleveland, one of them cities that know me very well. He knows me. And no, his father knows me very well, and he knows of me. So he's like talking to an old friend. The point is that this time it's going to be a little bit different. And it's going to be inspiring to see how people treat us. The word is already out, and it's going to be interesting to see how we get treated, on this trip. Or the trips this year. So that's the part about anticipating what you're going to deal with. And expectation. What do we expect from the people? What do we expect from ourselves? So hopefully we'll be prepared for this. Now, this trip, as we was meaning last night to say, which I'm sure we did, that this trip will have a lot to do with black colleges, because that's the main reason for this. So up till a certain area, After we leave Texas, I don't think you're gonna, in fact, we'll get a list of them. After you leave Texas, even after you leave Houston and other parts, I know the last black college I spoke was in Houston, Northwest, Southwest, something like that. It was in Houston. And there's tons of Negroes down there. But as you go farther west, you know, it's not that many Negroes. I know in New Mexico and all that. Well, when we go to Arizona, we just hook it up because there's a lot of students there, mixed students. But here's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. You have to remember our idea from our writings. We had sayings like, be prepared to sleep under a bridge. That means with nothing. Okay, doing this attitude, that's the attitude. You don't have to have, you're not going to take a lot of junk with you, and you don't need a whole lot. You know, and you're prepared, like during this period, we were prepared to sleep under a bridge. That means if they took all of this, we were prepared that that it's possible for them to take everything away. That's what we was psychologically prepared for it. Well, they did a bad job. They ain't got nothing yet. I mean, it's costing a lot of money, you know. By the way, we will be doing. And what they did in Oakland and all that, we get that back. And we got them set up perfectly. You can't imagine how well, in fact, we may do a lecture in a week or so, specifically on Oakland. We've done the same lecture before. But that's the purpose of all the talks before. That's the purpose of all the CDs or DVDs. That's the purpose. Some places downstairs we still have whole sets of strategic management under conditions of repression. Right, all of those from a long time ago. But we have these too from the last 10 years. We'll select what we want and we'll take those with us. Yeah, we'll take those with us. Okay, but specifically for the black colleges, even from DC, we might we can just catch the bus over to Howard. Same thing, we can catch the bus right over. We can walk over to Baltimore, to Negro. Oh, wait a minute, there's another black college in Bowie, not the one over at, what's the one they call in? Morgan State. That used to be a BS, it still is, all right. Shoot, we'd be busy here more than we'd be around here. And are there any other BSUs around Howard in DC? What about Virginia? There's Hampton. Hampton is but that's a BSU, Red Black, okay. Do they have any more down there? Shoot, it'd take us 2 years to get out of the area. Okay. Shoot. Man, it may take us. It may take us a year or two to get out of Dixie. I mean, because that's okay. Whatever it is, we'll meet the occasion, and okay. All of this is to educate a class of people. Why do we choose those the black universities right before we go just shooting out on a rocket? Number one is that they come out of our community and they're leaning towards what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to start, the platform starts with the black movement, and the Judas goat is the perfect one that we start with. And when we go to these universities, we just, give out a few DVDs and say, oh, by the way, we are available in case y'all got anything going on. We would love to present. Now, the presentation that we give to them will be a package. Pete O'Neill will be in it. Sekou Dinga and them will be, So, this is credible. They might even go so far as said, shoot, this is it. Sure. Right? And then we move from there.